I'm Casey. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I came to you guys from Chicago, so it's been lovely for me to be here in this beautiful weather. Chicago's still a little unpredictable this time of year. For those of you that know, you know. I could be 75, it could be snowing. We just don't know right this time of year. So this has been lovely. Gotten to sit out at the pool a little bit, get a little sun. And we've had a great couple of training days at the other locations. And I know that you guys might have a little trauma, some Vish trauma from back in the day for those of you that were here. And I want you all to take a deep breath and just kind of let it go that this is a different Vish than what you remember. It has been completely redone. We took basically everyone's suggestions of when you were trying that old system and you were like, why does it take so long? Why is it doing this? And we rebuilt it. So this new system was really built upon the suggestions of really busy working stylists. So, and I was like user number 2. So I'm OG Vish. I helped beta test the original Vish back in 2016, and it just made sense to me. And I've been with the company ever since. And just to give you, like, you guys hated Vish 1.0. There was beta test Vish that was even stranger. It was Android, and I'm not an Android person. So, and then our scales, you had to keep them plugged in all the time, and they would like melt and catch on fire. And I'd have to like call Canada and be like, my scale is smoking. What was that supposed to happen? I don't think so. So it just made sense. And then after COVID, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to take a little break from being behind the chair full time. I put in my 20, and I was like, I'm going to see what just being with Vish now is like. And I still get to be in salons every single day. I travel 98% of the time, and I get to come in and hang out with cool people, and I get to like learn about different color lines because I was a Veda born and raised. Anybody here familiar with a Veda? Yeah. Okay, so you know when you're an Veda educator and you're in that cult, let's be honest. Like, so getting to come out and like find out what's awesome about Wella and Color Touch and Redken Shades EQ and getting to actually wear perfume and that's not a Veda, all that cool stuff. So the cult released me. I'm free in the world now, living my best life. So we're gonna start with a little video, and then I'm gonna talk to you guys about why this system is not just for Robert, but it was actually designed for you. So hold on one second here. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Of course, tech. Helps if I press the right button. There we go.
Hello there. You're probably watching this either in a staff meeting or a staff gathering because your manager or owner has told you that they are bringing on Vish. And many of you are probably thinking like, whoa, 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 I like the way I do things. I'm comfortable in my creative process. Technology can stay out of the color room. And I'm here to say, I hear you. I'm Lindsay, and I'm a salon owner, I'm a stylist, I'm a colorist, and I've been in this industry a long time, and I can tell you that I, too, feared change when it came to my color process. But I'm also here to tell you that when I put aside my fear and embraced the technology that came with it and started adapting it into my salon and into my own clientele, I was amazed at the change.
There's really absolutely full creativity and full control of how you mix. I don't have to listen to a computer system to tell me how much to mix or which colors can go together. I can still be my full creative self, and I think that's been a really nice, pleasant surprise.
We can all remember a time when online booking didn't exist, when there weren't these robust POS systems to record every nuance of our business. But there never was really anything in the color room to record our nuances there. And there's a lot of nuance in our brilliance behind the station. And so to have something there to take away the human error and to let us just be creative was remarkable and quite frankly revolutionary. I can remember times where I would forget formulas just because I didn't have the time to write them down because I was too busy formulating them and creating them and tweaking them. So to have a system that records all of those pieces and just lets me be me and create was amazing.
All right, thank you so much, Lindsay Guzman. So she's a salon owner out in Colorado, and she's been with us from the beginning. She's just such an awesome advocate for us, and she's been through all the systems too. So what she said is right. it's probably easy to imagine, right, why Robert would want a system like this, or why any salon owner. Salon owners are always trying to get a better grasp of everything that's going on. But we're the ones that have to kind of pay the price for that sometimes, right? I'm sure you guys are probably like, oh my God, one more thing. Can I just please do my job? But there's so many aspects of our jobs that we've just really done, right? You just make it work. And we're products of whomever trained us. How we fold our foils, the way that we stir our color, the ratios we mix to. It's who trained us, that's how we do it, and we just keep doing it. And yet there's things that have evolved in our industry that we just kind of struggle to keep up with. So one of those things is the costs, right? We're trying to adapt to a whole new economy of how do we charge? How am I doing this? Do I keep doing, when our clients have been with us for a long time, but color costs go up. And therefore, every drop of color, we need to be accounting for. One of the things that I think we've struggled with is, as she said, we're so busy creating stuff that we forget to write it down. And I'm sure some of you are awesome at it. I was not ever awesome at it. I would say I was gonna do it. I was the same way with my diary as a little girl. I would get given that little diary with the key, and I would be like, I'm gonna keep a diary. And I'd keep it for a week. And then I'd go back to whatever. And then I'd find the diary years later and nothing was ever filled out. The same with my color formulas. Who's gone to the computer and you're like, she asked for what she wanted last time and it's not there. Or it's incomplete. Or it's somebody else's guest and you don't understand what they were trying to accomplish with that formula. So just by mixing in Vish, we are going to save 100% of your formulas for you forever. You will never again have to hand record a formula. You're gonna have consistency and precision when it comes to those formulas. So when your guests say, last time wasn't my favorite, but I liked what you did 2 times ago, you're gonna be able to know exactly what you mixed or what someone else mixed down to the smallest increment, and you're gonna be able to repeat it for that guest. Because ultimately, let's remember, what we're doing is for the guest. We want to make sure that whatever they're getting, it's what they want. And we want to be delivering that to them all the time. You won't have to record that formula in Boulevard either. Whatever you mix in Vish is going to save in Vish to mix from history. And you're going to have that formula with a consistent format in Boulevard each and every time. So if you do have guests that perhaps bounce between locations, or you choose to maybe spend a couple days at a different location, get a new environment, you're gonna have that formula no matter what in Boulevard. Pretty cool, right? So then we just don't have to worry. I was telling the story about Mario Tricosi in Illinois, 13 locations, and they have an academy. They're a Wella, they've been around for 50 some years, and they book on the half hour, no matter what. Every color service, they're still departmentalized, every color service is a half hour. One stylist was out. She was out for an entire month. A newer girl was taking her guest. It took 6 colorists to try and help her figure out this formula that was in the computer because no one understood it. The entire appointment passed by. And this poor girl still didn't know what to mix because the formula was written in Morse code or something. I don't even know. But we want to avoid that. We shouldn't have to stress about that. So that's one thing we're going to do for you. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to help with math. And we're going to help make, you're going to be able to create whatever you want, but we can help formulate it for you and make sure that it's accurate and precise every single time. So that's really, really cool. Is anyone here super into math? It's okay if you are. I know that's not me. But yeah, I'm if you like math, way to go. But as we were just talking, let's say you like a 1 to 1.5 ratio, but you have 2 developers. How do we do that? You want to come back and you want to mix just a little bit more so that we aren't wasting color. How do we do that and keep the precision of the formula? You have to pull out your calculator. You have to try and break it down. And honestly, that's why manufacturers create things on half ounce, 1 ounce, 2 ounce. They keep these round whole numbers, 15 grams, 30 grams, because if you have to come back and mix more, well, at least I can do half a bowl. But half the time, that's even too much, right? So if you want to come back and you want to mix 15% more, Vish does the math. You want to do 2 developers at a 1 to 1.5, you can have Vish do the calculation for you. And then when we are done mixing our formula, if there's stuff left over, Vish is going to recalculate it for us so that next time our formula is precise for that guest. It is their texture, their density, their effect that you're going for, that you're going to have a formula that's just for them. And communicating to your guests that this is now really, truly customized hair color, is going to make your guests feel very, very special. And why would they go someplace else when their formula is saved here forever? And it's not just another Blonder Plex in 20, it's your Blonder Plex in 20. Because what you need might be different than what you need. And all those times that we tweak it a little bit, you guys probably have a lot of snowbirds, right? And they go up north, and someone up north does their hair, and then they come back down, and they're like, it's too dark, or now it's too drab, and you've got to like, you're gonna be able to have those formulas and make favorites for that guest, save their history. You can like rename the bowls so you know, like, hey, this is her in-season toner, this is her out-of-season toner. You take a screenshot, send it, hey, take this with you to your stylist up north so that I don't have to correct this each and every time you come back down here. So, and not that I'm dissing north and south colorists. Like, I don't mean to start another color civil war here. That was not my intention. So, inventory. Who counts inventory here? You. How long does it take you? Like an hour, and you have to get like all the sheets, and if you're in everybody's way. Pardon? You do it on the iPad. Ooh, look at you. I like that. Well, now you can actually just go into Vish, generate a purchase order. It's going to be pretty cool. So just by mixing in Vish, you guys are going to make sure that you have exactly what you need. He won't have to do hand counts because of what you've mixed. It's going to actually all talk to each other. So he's going to know how much was used, what needs to get ordered this week, so that we can also make sure that you guys have what you need. Does anyone really enjoy being out of stuff? Because like, does anyone enjoy taking a 4 and a 9 and making a 7? Sometimes people get a real thrill out of that. That gives me anxiety just thinking about it.
I won't do it. I've sent them away.
Yes, I'm sorry, I don't have what you need today. I can't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Have you really done that?
Yes.
That's boss.
Yes,
Whoa.
because we have been out and it's too far and it's not
Yeah.
going to be right.
Yeah. Wow. I applaud you for that because I am such a people pleaser that I'm like, no, I'll make it work. I'll just cry later in the bathroom, you know, or like, but yeah. Whew, gosh, I applaud you for that. That's a strength of character that I don't think I have because I'm a wuss. People talk me into stuff all the time. Ask my friends. So, and I'm sure too, you guys remember from the old system that you're still gonna have to touch stuff. It's an iPad, but it was really lengthy. You had to touch 900 things just to get one thing. The whole system is much, much faster. We're gonna be able to have this on our phones as well. So you can speak to that a little bit from yesterday. You can prep stuff from your phone. It's ready for you on the tablet. So associates who work with colorists, you can see what's going on with their bowls. You can set stuff up for the associate. They can just come over here and mix it. Everything stays like really like out in the open. You spend less time here actually just measuring the color, getting out. So the phones can help you. You can use it for notes. You can use it, as I said, to prep formulas. You can prep formulas before you even get here. If anybody really wants to learn how to prep a formula for, say, like the next day, I'll show you how. It's not obvious, but there is a workaround. I can show you how to prep a formula for the next day or even the day after that. So that it's just in there. You know you're gonna have a busy day, right? And that's what's great about the phone. So it is gonna save us time over time. We are starting from the beginning, so we don't have your existing formulas. We're gonna have to get those entered at least once, right? And then it's there forever. So this initial period of Vish, I do want everyone to kind of have a little grace with yourselves and with each other because it's gonna take you an extra minute. I am never going to argue with anybody that like throwing a bowl on a counter, tossing in some lightener and some developer is not the fastest way to mix. It is the fastest way to mix. Like I can't beat you doing that. However, how much did you just mix? Was it appropriate for what you're doing? Are you gonna have leftover color? Is it like the right consistency? If I have to come back and mix more, how am I gonna do that when I don't even really know what I just put in the bowl? So the 1 minute of extra time that we invest now is gonna pay off when we have those formulas in history. And you can tweak those formulas in history too. So for the people who go away for 4 months and come back, you're still gonna have it. I can ask Vish for more color, I can ask Vish for less color, and Vish will do the math. So the benefits for the guest, as we said, their formula is saved forever. It's customized for them. This really does set you guys apart from any of the other salons around you when you can tell them, hey, I've now adopted this type of technology. They're gonna think it's really cool, and it does elevate that level of professionalism. Guests wanna know that they're being taken care of. they're still really willing to spend what they want to spend, but they want to know that there's a service level on the back end of that. So when you tell them, wow, gosh, you guys, look what I'm learning today, show them a picture of the formula on the screen. They're going to think it's really cool, and they're going to know, like, this really sets you apart from the other salons around. Technology's come into everything in our lives, right? We don't walk on the street and hail cabs anymore. Really, not even in Chicago. Like, there used to be 300,000 taxis in Chicago, like in 2011, with the dawn of Uber, with the dawn of Lyft, with all of those rides app, there's less than 1,100 taxis in Chicago now. And really, you can only get them like downtown. You can't really get them anywhere else. It's all Lyft and Uber. I mean, tomorrow when I'm flying home, will I order groceries on my phone that will be delivered to me once? Yes, I will. I mean, I don't go to the grocery store anymore. Everything is now like either an app, and we just kind of have to adapt with it and make it work for us. So let's talk a little bit about the environment. So I want you guys to mix what you need to mix, right? Vish is never gonna tell you how much you need to put in your bowl. We're gonna like find out what you guys are using. I want you to just be comfortable. Put in what you think you need. We're gonna reweigh the bowl at the end, so it will customize for your guest after that. So don't get wrapped up in like, am I mixing too much? Is this wrong? If you wanna mix weird stuff together, Vish isn't gonna give you side eye. If you wanna mix Shinefinity and Color Touch, go ahead. Vish does not care. You wanna mix 4 ounces of color? Go ahead. I don't care, Vish doesn't care. Robert doesn't even care right now. We wanna find out what you're using and then make our kind of some decisions from there. What I want you guys to really be thinking about though is your time, right? Think about all those times that you've like looked at your schedule and you're squeezing stuff in, right? And you're maybe not charging for your time right. Like you're not doing the right services. I want you you can use that almost like looking at your service ticket. Where can I build that service ticket today? You guys have heard that expression? You only have today to make more money. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Tomorrow, you could get hit by a bus. And I live in Chicago, I really could get hit by a bus. It happens all the time to people. But today, tomorrow might cancel. You got today. It's true, I really could get hit by a bus. They're crazy. I don't know if anyway, it's a whole thing. I mean, I could like slip and fall off the train platform. That happens to people all the time too. Chicago's.
I just don't see where it's different because we do have formulas in a computer. We can show it to them on a screen. We can give it to them. We measure it out. Like it already is customized for each client.
Yes, it is customized, but you also don't know like what you might be coming back with or what, like you said, we're sticking to formulations that we've just always done. So when you come back and reweigh in Vish, that formula then gets refined for the guest for next time. So if you're coming back with empty bowls every time, amazing, I love it. Reweigh that so then you know that's exactly the amount of color you need. If you're coming back and there is stuff left over, whether it's like scrapings or whether it's globs of color, Vish is gonna refine that formula for you for the next time. We're gonna do that math. So whatever that head needs, you're gonna know when you mix from history.
Okay.
So you don't have to think 8 weeks ago or 6 months ago, I think I overmixed this. Because we're sticking to, okay, this is how I was trained. Yeah.
I just don't see how this is different.
It is, because I was really trying to get really specific, and it's just much harder. Like, what do? You come back and reweigh the bowl when you've got stuff left over, because I was like really trying to get specifically per guest. Okay, this woman takes 1.5. This takes, it's tricky, because then you got to come back and get and do fractions again.
No fractions. Yeah, yes, fucking fractions. No, who created that nonsense? I don't even know. But yeah, and they said, what if you do have to mix more? That's again where those situations occur where you're like, I'm gonna come back and mix more. What am I doing? So environmentally, all those times that we come back and there is stuff left over, that amounts to 13 million pounds of hair color every single year going into our environment. That's this kind of stuff that causes red tides. It's going into our soil, into our water, and into our air. The average salon, which we consider an average salon, a 6 to 8 chair salon, so think of where you guys fall in that, is throwing away between 10 and 12 tubes of color a week. And that's not somebody standing over the sink just going, I don't like this one. We don't need it. I'm going to squeeze it out. If we saw someone walk into the retail area and just start squeezing out tubes of shampoo, we would probably say something, right? But it is all those times that we do come back and there's leftover product. That is just money and chemicals going down the drain. We want to make sure this salon has been open and it has this beautiful reputation for all of these decades. We want to ensure that you guys have a profitable place to work for the next 20 and 30 years. His grandchildren want to take over someday. So the only way that we can sometimes do this is by getting a little bit more precise and tracking what we're doing to ensure that as costs continue to rise, that we can rise with it. This is a really great opportunity for everybody to get a little more detailed, and also we want everyone to make more money. And salons, what they're doing with the profit they're able to now squeeze out of thin air is amazing. People are opening new locations in a time when lots of salons are closing. People are able to bring on more associates, more front desk. They're able to invest more in education or into work-life benefits that they hadn't really been, had the money for. Even some salons, I have a salon in downtown Chicago, he uses it to pay for his holiday party because that money has to come from somewhere, right? Instead of putting, so he's like, Vish helps with that. And I was like, cool, I love a good party, as does Vish, so that's awesome. So the environment is something that you can share with your guests too. All of your guests might not care, but a lot of them I think really will when you say, hey, this is really gonna help us cut down on our color waste and therefore keep 40% of our color out of the ground and the air and the water. So what you guys are gonna also have now, and I said talking about when you need to add on a service or change the service that they scheduled because you want to better reflect your labor, you're gonna have a little window at the front desk. They're gonna be able to now help you get whatever you've mixed in Vish onto the guest ticket. Who's ever forgotten to charge for a toner? And you remember 30 minutes after the client left, oh, I don't think I put that on the ticket. And then you're like, well, it's free forever now because I don't want to have that uncomfortable conversation the next time she's here. Or you inherit a guest from someone else and you can see that formulas were done, they were never charged. And now you have to either have the uncomfortable conversation of going, if you want this today, it's actually this. Or you just have to say, yeah, it's free forever. Because you don't also want to have that uncomfortable conversation. So, using Vish to said, itemize your day, think about what techniques I'm performing, mix under those. The front desk can help get those onto the ticket. Because 20% of what we do behind the chair doesn't make it to the ticket. And that's not fair to us. And it also, what happens if you ever, are out of the salon and someone else does have to see that guest? We can upset a guest sometimes going, oh, well, I'd like to charge for my time, but the other person didn't. So now what do I do? So we want to create an even playing field and really raise that level of professionalism for everyone. So the front desk is going to help us. What we mix in Vish, they'll be able to get it to the ticket. It does not automatically change anything. So you guys still approve all of that, right? It's your choice. It will not automatically change the client's ticket. You're going to still charge however the salon wants you to charge. Nothing is changing about that. But as I said, add on your services, change the services if you need to, add bowls where you need to. The rest of that stuff we're going to figure out. Because for the first 30 days, all I want you to focus on is just mixing in Vish. Mix 100% of your services. Try to reweigh the bowl 90% of the time. Pretty easy goals for the first 30 days, right? Think we can do it? If you reweigh more than 90%, amazing. You'll get an enormous gold star from me. But 90% is the goal. We know you're going to forget a couple times. It happens. Did you forget any yesterday? Good for you. Well done. I was like, it happens. It happens. It'll still save your formula. You'll still mix it from history, even if you forget to reweigh. It just won't recalculate it. So let's kind of get to the good stuff because I want to show you now how this looks because you have a frame of reference. But has anyone in here never touched an iPad? You would think that was a rhetorical question, but I have had someone say yes before. So, you're an Android? Okay. It's actually, I do think that it is a little easier, but I know the Android iPhone thing, right?
I did great yesterday, and she's Android.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I find that it's easier for Android people to work on iPad, like Apple, than it is for Apple people to work on Android. Yeah. I think that it is. I don't know if Android people you just have a broader tech knowledge and we're so in the Apple universe because they hooked us. right? Yeah, oh gosh, it's a genius. I will tell you this, none of the people who have built this, design it, work on it, they don't use a single Apple product. So our very, very intelligent developers, the people who write code all day long and all night, they are Android 100%. The only real things that they use for Apple are to test Vish. So there you go. But you can have it on your phone in Android. So yeah. So this is our scale. So this probably looks a little different than the scale you had the last time. This is an electromagnetic scale. It is accurate down to the 10th of a gram. You're going to get real time, like when something hits this, it's going to register. So for those formulas that you're like, yeah, and we saw a couple of them yesterday with Dema, yeah, that she had 5 ingredients, 2 of them had it measured. I was like, yeah, just measure out your, and it will, so if you have to come back and mix more and there's a color that there was she knew what to do. So it is very, very, it's real time and it's accurate. So this scale is also sensitive from all 4 sides. So if you do work with any Tornado Sallies, you might just want to like remind them, hey, keep stuff away, don't lean on it, you don't want stuff brushing up the sides. It has a 25-hour internal battery, so it only gets powered down and charged at night. You do not want to use it plugged in. So it can like move around. You need a little more space or something, you can, pick it up and move it. So to turn it on, I just tap it. When you see numbers on it, that is pairing mode. It has already been paired and connected once to its friend, the iPad, and it's going to connect via Bluetooth. So it already connected itself. We'll make sure they're labeled so everybody knows like which iPad and which scale go together, but they're already friends, they've already been connected. So that's how, so I said everything can kind of, you're going to watch here, but measure here. And once it's connected, there's nothing. You don't need to tear it. It tears out the empty weight of your bowl. You don't need to zero it out. Everything you need is here. So everybody's going to get a pin for Vish, right? And when you log in, you're going to see your schedule. Boulevard talks to Vish, so every single day, all of your clients are going to be here waiting for you. Oh, thanks. There we go. All right, so I've got my clients for the day. I will be able to see this from my phone as well. So I can sit in the break room, I can sit at my kitchen table. Hopefully you're not going to do it while you're driving, but you could go through and plan out your day. What I really, really strongly do to get you faster from day one is you're going to go in and you're going to look at your guest, see what they've scheduled, and you'll see all of their services, and you're going to plan out your bowls. Because probably, you're like, oh, even if it's just blonde orange 20, I'm going to put my blonde orange 20 in there. And I can save it all for later. So then when I actually get to the station here, all I got to do is get the bowl down and get it mixed. It's all planned ahead. So I'm going to find words that I want and just touch them. It's all forward moving. So I have a single color retouch here. I'm going to add a bowl. As I mentioned, everybody is new the first time. So this does take an extra minute. But I've immediately got options where I can start a new formula, I can mix from history, or I can mix from favorites. Nobody has history or a favorite at this moment. I'm going to start new. I've got all of my product lines, right? I've got Wella, I've got GK, Global Keratin. Your Malibus are in there. If you guys add color lines, if you have one-off colors that you need to use on one guest, I can put them in Vish, no problem. Right? I want Wella. All right. So now I've got all of my options right here. Whatever I want to pick and mix from for Wella, hello. So if I'm doing a single color retouch, what would I want? Probably KP, right? I recommend we're going to narrow it down. Oh, it's the first one. And now I'm only searching in KP. And I've got even more options to make this. You guys are going to find the way that works best for you. I've got a keyword search. I want a 6-6. I can type in 6-6. And it's going to show me anything with like a 6 in it. I also have this cool little feature over here where I'm going to pop out my list view, and then I get my level ladder. That's what I call it. That is not a branded, that's just what I call it. My level ladder. So if I want, say, a 6, would you touch a 6 for me? Thanks. So now I'm only searching in my 6s in KP, and it's in numerical order. So if I want here a 6-7, and a 6 for 1, I'm gonna do that. If I now want a 7, I can toggle to my 7s and grab a 7. I wanna add an 8. You can just keep adding colors. Vish is never gonna go, whoa. You're now creating the world's most elaborate neutral. Please stop. Vish does not care. I've got 2 colors. I've got it in my shopping cart. I'm gonna keep going. And here's my developers. And again, I'm gonna grab one. I'm gonna grab as many as I want. So I'm gonna grab, that one, because I'm looking at it upside down and I can't see what it is anyway. So I grabbed a developer. I'm ready to go. Whether from my phone or whether at the tablet, here I am in my planning phase. I can be as detailed in this screen as I want, or I can just hit mix now, put the bowl down, start squeezing out my own color. And I can really just like read what I'm dispensing on the screen. I like to plan out where I'm going. So if I know that, let's say I want a 1/2 ounce and a 1/2 ounce, and I know that KP mixes in a 1-to-1, I've set it up, right? I've got quick buttons. I can toggle back and forth between grams and ounces, should I choose to. I've also got custom. So if I want to mix in a ratio of 1.75, I can mix in a ratio of 1.75. I want 3/4 of an ounce of something and 1/4 of an ounce of something else, and then I want of something. I can make all of that work pretty easily. So either I'm gonna save it for later or I'm gonna mix now. Since we're all right here, I'm gonna mix it. And I come straight to my mixing screen. So it's always gonna prompt us when it's time to put the bowl down. Oh, come on. I'm like, what? Did I grab the wrong scale? I don't think I did. Oh, I know what. I was wondering about this because it didn't ask me. 1 second. We're gonna do something else. I can do this one. I'm like, that one, the Bluetooth has not been authorized on that. I can go seamlessly in between. Let's put you down. There we go. Well, here we go. There's my saved formula, right? I'm going to touch it. I'm going to put my bowl down, and I'm going to turn this brightness up for me because I can't see. I don't know about you guys. There we go. Here's my mixing screen. Because I set target weights, I actually just want you guys to watch. Obviously, you can watch right here. I like to watch my little balloon, right? I'm going to fill my balloon. When the balloon is full, I'm done with that ingredient. I go to my next ingredient. I fill my balloon. Now, you'll notice when I'm like at my target weight, my numbers are green. I always say green is good. If I go a little bit over, honestly, most of the time it's probably going to be like the teeniest little bit. And I'd always like to remind you, this is showing you a lot of numbers that you're not used to seeing. So those, you might have always been slightly over your target weight. But if it bothers you, I do have a balance button, and it will balance out the entire formula. So sometimes, you've got a tube and you're like, I'm just going to finish this tube. I'm not putting back the last sip of orange juice of this 6. And you want to just squeeze it in, and it puts you over. You can balance it, and then it'll balance out your whole formula for you, right? All right, now, because I had set my ratio, when I go to my developer, math is done. Even with those that tiny bit extra that I put in. My math is done. I'm ready to go. Watch my balloon here. Done. Oh, a little bit more. It's very gratifying. Ooh, there, see, green. Yeah, I'm done. That's it, you guys, I've mixed it. I am ready to go. If I want to pick it up and stir it, I could pick it up and stir it. Make sure it feels okay. So if you're a consistency mixer with your lighteners and you don't really know, like I don't really mix to a ratio, you can still totally do that. Don't set any target weights. You're going to put your bowl down. You're going to put in a scoop. You're going to do a couple swirls of your developer. Pick it up, stir it. Make sure it feels right. Put it back down. Adjust what you want to adjust. It will then save your consistency. So even when you or your associate or anyone needs to come back and mix more or mix it again, it's in your consistency. So if you don't know, I don't know if I mix it a 1 to 2. Maybe I mix it a 1 to 2, but whatever. Vish will then be able to tell you what you got the next time. I'm done. I'm going to log out. I'm going to go away. I'm ready to go apply this. What happens, as we talked about, if I have to mix more, right? I can send someone to mix more for me and just tell them, hey, go mix me half a bowl. Go mix me a quarter of a bowl. Change the developer, because people can do that to help you. I want a second bowl of Blonde d'Or, please, but can you up it to 30 volume? That can all be done here, and it's in your consistency. It's all visual. No one can mess it up, right? So you stay on time. If I just want to come back, you know what? I'm going to get a little bit more for her hairline. It's really gray. I'm going to let Vish help me. So I log in. It's all the same. My client's there. I can see they're active, right? I can see which bowl is active. I might have other ones on there. I can see immediately. There's my active bowl. And when I touch it, I immediately get offered the option, mix more. So I'm here to mix more. And now I decide, how much more do I want, right? So do I want a quarter bowl? Sure. Do I want a custom amount? Do I just want an ounce more? I can do that too. I like percentages personally. All right, I got my 25% more. I'm not using a new bowl, right? And I'm ready to go on. And I put that bowl right back down. Did you have to mix more of anything yesterday? Good for you.
But I have a question.
Sure.
So you know how you will have all the bowls there?
Mhm.
Okay, as the future goes on, is it going to be like, so I know that in Boulevard it saves all of the formulas from each visit,
Mhm.
but is it going to save it every single time in there? Like, am I going to have the previous from all the years they've been coming of the bowl?
Of when you make of what
Right,
you've
'cause
mixed
you'll
in
have
Vish?
active and not active, right? Bowls.
Well, if you have reweighed your bowls, then they're all just going to be, yeah, but whatever you've mixed, but it won't like,
I'm saying like 2 years from now when she comes back and say she's changed her hair color 10 times, are all 10 of those going to be in Vish as well as Boulevard?
yes,
So
yeah.
those will pop up
But
as
it,
well.
yeah, you'll see it by the date,
Oh, perfect.
and you'll see it by just the main service. So you don't have to see like bowls. It'll say
Okay.
April 15th, 2025.
Okay.
But we don't
And
have to
single
update
color we
Vish.
touch.
We don't have to update Vish and Boulevard.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Anna says it very, very, very.
yeah.
Just ask the new mixing and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean, so for the initial period, you're going to have to, if you know you have a formula in Boulevard, you're like, go, okay, look at it in Boulevard, get it mixed in Vish. Once it's in Vish, you can really just come to Vish moving forward. Unless it's maybe someone from another location. That's like, oh, they're from Bonita, and they've never been here before. I'm going to look at it. Yeah. So, because
the
each
salons
Vish,
aren't connected to
no,
Vish.
each Vish is its own Vish.
But the formula, if they put
Yes.
the fish there, will go to both.
Yes, exactly. And I am going to tell you, she can attest to it. The formulas in Boulevard are very thorough.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. So the Vish communicates to the Boulevard, and then it'll be in our Boulevard for a guest that's
Yeah,
coming from
yeah,
another.
because
Yes.
Boulevard keeps one
Yep.
database, the little ones have it working together.
So, yes, dear.
But it's in like the actual formula spot, because we write everything in the comments, so
It's in
it'll
the
have to be in a
comments.
different spot.
It's in the comments.
Okay, got it.
I don't know. I was like, I was going to say, I don't know. Because I don't get to work in Boulevard. So, yeah.
So for the first initial appointment, like my first color plan today, I have to put the formula in today.
Yes. Yes.
And you can either prep it or you can just go and weigh it out. So like say if like, especially with like, a lot of people don't measure their lightener. So say if you have highlights, if you come back, and you're like, I have no idea how much I usually use, because I usually just throw it in the bowl. You can just put it on there and you can weigh it there and it'll be like, okay, this is how much you're used to, this
Yeah.
consistency.
Yeah, she's never set a ratio. She's had no idea like how much she eyeballs everything. And she absolutely loved it. She's like, because it shows you right there. You're like, all you have to do is like, what Blonde d'Or, what developer. And then she just watched it and she's like, yeah, that looks good. She threw in some developer. She's like, okay, picked it up, stirred it. She did it like a couple times, but she's like, that was way fast. And then the next time, obviously, it'll be a lot faster because she won't have to pick it up, stir it, pick it up, stir it, pick it up, stir it. But this is, so I've asked for 25% more. Do you guys now see how I've got like open spaces in my color, right? All I have to do is close it. That's my 25% more. So whether you do 50%, whatever, I'm just gonna fill it right back up. So I'm gonna close you can look here, right? I just have to close my little balloon. So let's do it. I've got my 6-7, close my balloon, Green is good. Oh, I went a little red. No, oh, yeah, green. Cool. And my 641, close my balloon, right? I still have my 1-to-1 ratio. It's open back up. I just have to close my balloon. So instead, too, for associates having to like maybe run back and forth and go, what did you want and how much of it? And then they get back here and then they forgot one ingredient and then they run back out and go, wait, okay, so it was an ounce of this and what was it? It can all be right here. We can make that a little bit more of a seamless transition. All right, last step. Whether you think it is scraped clean, like you could actually eat porridge out of it, or there's a ton of stuff left over, I want you to try and come back and reweigh. And anyone can help each other reweigh. You don't have to reweigh the exact moment you finish applying that color. Like if you need to set the bowl down, get your guest comfortable, get them a coffee. Even if the guest has checked out and you are like, oh, there's a bowl on my station, let me go reweigh that. You can still come back and reweigh it. As long as it's done in like the calendar day. If you're here at midnight and you want to reweigh bowls, talk to Robert about that. I mean, I would hope that you'd go home at some point. But yes, it doesn't have to be done the exact moment. So if you said you want to run to the bathroom, you want to get some water, you're going to get your guest a magazine, ask a teammate, hey, could you go reweigh Betty Sue's bowl for me, please? You guys can all help each other. And it's new. And we're going to forget sometimes. It's okay. It's super, super easy. It's 3 seconds. I log in. There's my guest. Still got my bowl right there, right? Bowl, big pink button, reweigh. Bowl goes right back down. Done. I get a happy green check mark. I told them yesterday, I've been working for 6 years to get shooting confetti. Someday, I will succeed and get shoot. All of our developers are guys, and they just don't understand the allure of shooting confetti, I think, and they're literal people, and they're like, why? And I'm like, everyone loves shooting confetti. Everybody does, especially stylists. Right? So someday, I will win. Until then, we have a happy green check mark. And you're successful. It is not going to tell you in the moment how much color was left over. Anyone have a guess on why we're not going to do that? We used to. People thought it was aggressive. We don't want anyone to feel attacked.
As soon as it went to Wednesday, we were like,
Yeah. So in the moment, it's not going to say, you messed up, you're a terrible colorist, you wasted this much. No, because honestly, you're successful if you reweigh. We don't care. Because what was left over today won't be there the next time. So yeah, people really did think it was aggressive.
We used to have one system that was very judgy. It would be like, no.
Oh.
That was actually the graphic on it. It's like, oh my God.
Oh my God, that is judgy. Well, how many times? I feel like we said that a lot yesterday. We listen and we don't judge. Vish listens. Vish is never judging you, I promise. It does not have emotions like that. Remember, Canadians created it. We all know Canadians are super nice. So, yeah.
Secretly, though, they are not.
There are secret Canadians that are mean? Well, like Alberta, maybe, that province. So.
Actually, my brother told me that there's a lot of stuff in Geneva Convention that had directly to do with Canadians in World War I.
Oh, I was like, I don't know if I was an Indigenous person in Canada, if I'd want to have that conversation right now. But obviously, here too. We're all just awful people. What are we going to say? I mean, yeah.
So does every stylist have their own login?
Yes, you're gonna create your own pin.
So I have to remember all my stylist pins?
We're gonna write it down. You, specifically you, have to remember all of it. No, we're gonna get a list posted. Once we get everyone set up, there's gonna be a nice list on the wall. So then you can just look. How good is that memory, right? For those of us in perimenopause, no, it's gone. I wouldn't be. Yeah, right? Forget it. I can barely remember my name these days. And I've always had such a good memory, which is frustrating. To now be perimenopausal and go, what? What's happening? How do I put pants on? Yeah, I had the air conditioning on at like 65 in my room all night, and I was still like sweating. Yes, exactly. All right, questions right now. Yes, dear.
So what I'll probably do is like prep for my stylist every
Yep.
day, so all their bowls are there.
That's perfect.
What if the client comes in and they're like,
Absolutely. Yes, you can swap. You can always, find a word that you want and touch it in Vish. So you're like, God, I need more options. Like, how do I add a product? More, add a product, add a developer. You can, again, I'll show you, there's multiple ways to swap something. So yeah, like it could happen that like you've prepped a formula and right now, maybe it's not on the shelf. And you're like, shoot, I don't have a 6-7, I'm gonna swap it for a 6-4. Just swap it for the 6-4, yeah.
I'm sure this question has been asked. Does the system then anticipate for the coming season so that it knows to like bulk up?
The cool thing is once we have more data, then, and now that the inventory is tied, it will.
Okay.
It will be constantly like evaluating the current inventory and making suggestions based on what people are mixing. So the more data we get, which again, super important that everything gets, at least if you get to reweigh, cool. Don't reweigh, you forgot. But at least get it mixed in Vish so that the inventory will start to really gather that data. Yeah, and it will. It will say like,
A year or two and then like, oh, season's coming.
Season's coming, yep, season's coming. Or just even, you had a really busy week of a certain, it's gonna make suggestions when you go to do that order of like, you went through 3 more blonde plexes than normal.
Because we have a lot of
Yeah.
peaks and valleys.
I bet you do. Yeah,
That's cool.
that is cool. Any other questions right now? Okay.
Which is why the models and.
Oh, that's thing, let's talk about, so I said, we're not changing anything about how, like, your pricing, anything like that. But there are a couple of new things, just again, to help us like better track. Model color, employee color, like color corrections. I don't know if you guys are doing a lot. You have so the model color and employee color, there's a service now for that in Vish. You're just gonna mix all your bowls under that. So, and then there will be a product charge. You can pay per gram for whatever you're dispensing. So for those of you who do need models, pretty cool that you can say, yeah, there's no service fee, you just gotta pay for the product dispensed, and it's per gram. So you have to do a partial highlight model, that might honestly only be like $4.65 for the the lightener, It's gonna give us really accurate ways to track that, and like really, hey, I'm just doing a quick retouch, $12 product charge, It'll show up on the Vish front desk, but it does not change any tickets.
You have to approve it.
So yeah, you basically have to approve it. So the language that we'd like to kind of use moving forward is you make what the changes you need in Vish. Someone scheduled a retouch, you need so much color or you're doing, way more work. You need to change that to a dimensional. You need to change it to an all over radiance. Whatever, you can change that in Vish. Let the people at the front desk know when you want, the guest, hey, Vish is correct. Can you get her scheduled in another 8 weeks? Vish is correct. That's all that the communication needs to happen. And the front desk people too, hey, is Vish correct? Yeah, Vish is correct, thank you. So you don't have to go through and make multiple changes. You don't have to, if I'm gonna add on a service, you don't have to go to Boulevard and add it and then come back to Vish. Just add it in Vish, mix it, they'll see it. And then you have to say Vish is correct. And they're gonna be checking to say, oh, what did she schedule in Boulevard? Single color or color retouch. Ooh, I see a color retouch and I see an express gloss. Let's get that express gloss on there. Build those service. So the language, let's try. And remember, it's new for them too, but can you get her booked for me? Awesome, she's gonna buy this shampoo, Vish is correct. And what did we were saying yesterday because of the sisters? Oye, Vish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, check the Vish. Yeah. Oye, Vish. Oh no, everybody yesterday was Oye, Vish. Check the Vish. And I 100% approve that, and I want it on a T-shirt. Yeah. I think the front should just say Oye, Vish, and then the back could be check your Vish. I'm gonna task you with that. Yeah. Robert of Philadelphia. We can all make a commercial. Do you guys have commercials?
From like the 80s.
I bet those are fantastic. I want to see those commercials. Oh my gosh. Because I love those reels now of like the old, well, I mean, that was, good stuff. That was good stuff. Any other Vish questions before we start planning your next campaign?
I'm confused about the connection between Boulevard and
I'll think of it this way. Boulevard is the voice of truth, right? And Boulevard gives us information They don't take a whole lot back from us. So as I said, nothing will update the ticket in Boulevard. That we have a separate window.
So if
That's
I add a gloss, how will he know that I added the gloss on Boulevard?
So
it's in Vish. So that's where you say check
have
the
a Vish
Vish.
up there, too.
Yes, they'll have a Vish up there. They're gonna have like a whole screen that's gonna have your real-time Vish ticket.
So is Vish the checkout or is Boulevard the checkout?
Boulevard is the checkout.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Yeah, that's right. Because the new process will be to check Vish before they go to Boulevard.
Yeah.
To check Vish to confirm what was done.
Yeah.
And then we'll add it.
Yes, they'll add it. So is that, or if like you,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn
Yeah.
that too.
yeah, I mean, you do, there's gonna be people that you're like, hey, I've always thrown a few foils into this single. You still do that. You have, but now just I want you to start just kind of thinking of like, hey, am I gonna continue just adding a bowl and doing a few foils with her single, and nothing's gonna change because she's been coming here for 42 years, and we're not gonna change that. Or you can say, you know what, am I gonna now start doing a single, and am I gonna add on a foil? You know, you can decide. You know, is it just a little extra color? Because a lot of times, right, when you're doing something like that, you don't want to charge her for a whole other service because that whole other service might be $125 when I'm adding 5 foils. So really, if I just add a bowl and add that 5 foils to my single, it could be, you could have an extra product charge in the future. Instead of $125, I'm charging her accurately for the product that I'm doing, and it's $5.65.
Yeah.
You know, you might, that's where we're gonna evaluate moving forward. But yeah, so just to think about your time and your labor and your techniques, and if you wanna add techniques, do it in Vish, mix it. Yeah, so. Oh yeah, everyone download Vish 2.0 to your phones, please. Okay, 96235. You do not need to remember this.
That's like our company code.
That's the registration code. It connects you to the back end of Vish. Okay, so your email. And then that password.
I'll write it down. Give me a scrap paper right there. So what, this is called the Vish.
This is the Vish front desk. Okay, so let's go back to the Boulevard calendar because this is going to live on top of Boulevard. So either of these squares will shrink or expand. So if you click, it doesn't matter which ones, just click one of those. There. And then if you put your cursor on the Vish, you can move that wherever you want. And the other thing is right click on this guy. Yep. Perfect. So, and then all of these words are also clickable. So active means there's someone checked in, there's a service going on right now. Completed means all of the color bowls have been reweighed. That is your clearest indicator that they are done with that color. So if we want to click, activate Elizabeth's Foster, we're going to check Vish and just make sure that what was performed matches what's in Boulevard. And all we're doing right now is checking glow frame signature. Okay, cool. I don't need to add on any service. Yeah. So it would be like you could activate Elizabeth's ticket in Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. And just make sure that those services match. And you can move that. Sure, there you go. If she had added on an express gloss, if she changed it from a glow frame to a custom foil refresh or something, then we would want to make those changes in Boulevard. We are going to ignore that dollar amount for right now. This would just be extra product. That means she did this service but used more product than what's included.
How is this calculated?
Um,
By our cost or what?
It's cost with a retail markup. So every service gets an included amount of product. So this gets a glow frame, face frame, it gets half an ounce of lightener with up to 2 times the developer. Vish breaks all of that down to a per gram cost and then gives it retail markup. So this is the allowance. That $1.92 is the cost plus markup of that 1.5 ounces of product. She used $6.45 worth of product. So if we were charging extra, that's would be the extra.
Yeah, so, like she did 2 bowls?
Mm-hmm. So she would have the option to be like, that's
She
not
used
a
like 1.5 ounces of lightener, almost.
just of lightener. Yeah. And it includes developer. Vish is in both. So this bowl in itself, that one bowl was the allowance. Then she mixed a second bowl. So she would have the option to go, this isn't a glow frame anymore.
Who comes up with the allowance?
That's based on manufacturer standards. Some of that will change based on what you guys do, but right now it's just manufacturer standard mixing. Kind of what Wella, what everybody, what. So, I mean, it said, right, but it said she also now would have that option to go, I'm using more product than what is included for a face frame. I can charge her a partial, or I can up, you know, that gets more product, the larger the service. But she used,
So face frame is like an industry standard thing?
yeah. Yeah, for sure. Do you need me?
I know you're videoing, but they're trying to reweigh it
Oh.
for the first time.
No. But
Is this you?
that is me. So, yeah, well, I guess there's a couple more things.
So
So-
I don't have to like clear this out.
No, it will clear out itself. So if it bothers you, I mean, since that's a test person, if you want to click on it, I was like, you can click on it, like the whole thing, and then check it out. Yeah. And then when you go back, it will be gone. It'll be over here. But
I think
Boulevard,
some of these are just haircuts.
yes, they will eventually move themselves over to checkout. And because Boulevard gives us everything, not just color appointments. So when the stylists log in and see their schedule, it is their entire schedule.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah. It obviously, it gives them the opportunity that if they did have time, it's in the name's there. They can add on a color service if they have time. If the guest sits down and is like, oh, could we do a gloss?
What if it's if I add on a color right here, right now?
Yes.
It's gonna go, right,
It,
in a couple minutes?
it'll set, it depends. If someone's booking last minute like that, like someone calls right now and says, I live here, I can walk over, you can put it in here. It can take sometimes like 15, 20 minutes
But it's
to
gonna-
get over from Vish, but their name will at least be there. So if they have to manually add it into Vish for themselves,
So there's
yeah.
no way to refresh the system or whatever?
it's Boulevard controls that, and every integration is different. So yes, I mean, we definitely want you to put it in the books. Just let the stylist know that they might have to just add a new appointment into the Vish tablet and find that person's name.
Okay.
So if it's not, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 20.
Okay.
Because every integration is different, and what they do, they allow us so many times, like a minute or an hour, to come in and basically ask, our system asks their system for new information, and it's so they allow, it's like how many times per minute or per hour they allow us to grab stuff from their API,
Okay.
and everybody's different. So as I said, sometimes it could be. So yeah.
I had another question.
Yes.
Just come up from someone.
Okay.
So she was wondering, so she got new color, some highlights, and toner.
Yep.
So there's no differential between these two, because she says sometimes they get confused on if it's a toner or if it's a root or what the color is.
So in Vish, they can rename the bowls. 1.9 is the clear indicator. This is the color touch developer. That's the perfect. So that would
Well, yeah,
that would be the huge signal right there to me. In Vish, you can rename the bowls. Up here, I mean, this is how they mixed it. They mixed all 3 bowls under a dimensional color blend, 45 minutes. Or she can take that 3rd bowl, move it to an express gloss.
technically, I think that should be separate.
I think it should be separate too, because I
But
think
I
a
think
dimensional, or she could move it to a dimensional
I think
color blend 1
sometimes
hour.
What we do here is we just tack on a toner with the
Yep.
dimensional, because it kind of has become part of a dimensional service.
Yep. You're giving away a lot of color then for not that much of a service price, in my opinion. And I know specifically that's something that your dad really wants. to look at is how has this service become a catch-all for everybody just trying to squeeze in a bunch of stuff without the service price to go along with it? Because they're not charging. I mean, they did a retouch, a foil, and a gloss in that. Why are they lumping it all into this low-priced service?
Well, so the dimensional is like, it's supposed to be
Yeah.
retouch in like 5 foils or less.
Yeah.
So,
But then it's like, oh, but what if I do 10? What if, oh, it's only 10.
I mean, they kind of like gauge it themselves. So for the most part, every now and then they'll be like, oh, like this is, a good client or whatever, we're not going to charge them. Which is perfectly fine. But,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to nickel and dime every single person. But
No, but it isn't nickels and dimes when you, like, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, it's nickels and dimes in that moment, but when you have 50 clients in a week, that you're like, oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay. Then it all starts to add up.
No, for sure.
So also, too, like you said, you've got all these other services. You do have these combination services. You have the custom color, 1 hour, custom color, 1.5. I think there's maybe just some, like, looking at, like, what do those services do compared to, like, this service? Where's, there's a whole bunch of services in the system that I think are either duplicates or aren't very clear.
For sure.
So, yeah, like, and I just think we're just gonna see where everybody can get some clarity just to make it as easy as possible. So everybody knows when they need to add on for time or when it's just about product or when it's maybe both. Because if it's about time, they're gonna have a way to add on for their time. So, they're like, cool, I feel compensated. I know that I'm getting paid for my work. If it's just about product, then the salon gets paid back because they're gonna have that extra product charge to pay the salon back for the price. If it's a big service, then everybody gets paid back. They can upgrade the service. There's more product. There might be extra product charge too. So everybody makes out even. And it's way more transparent than saying a $25 extra bowl, but then how much is an extra bowl? And it's left up to the stylist to add on extra bowl. And then what if it is $4.43? They're way more accurate. They're way more apt to charge someone $4.43 of just extra product than a $25 extra bowl that you're paying commission on. And
But
yeah,
everyone gets paid hourly.
so yeah, that's true. I mean, everybody gets paid.
There's not a huge incentive,
Yeah,
Because either way, they're still making the same money.
yeah.
So that's kind of an issue that we have.
So like if we click on Alicia, so she would have the option to say like, yeah, am I moving that to charge her a dimensional color blend and a gloss? Or am I just charging her a dimensional color blend and would I charge her $17 of extra product? Yeah. For now, I mean, and I'll ask Brenda when she's done, if,
No, I mean,
yeah, it is, yeah. But right now, all we're doing is just checking to see if they've
get
changed
that
it.
figured out later.
Yep. Yeah, you're just gonna make sure that that's what matches.
Okay.
And then when we come back, when she checks out, she'll move herself to check out. If you click on all, everybody's here, and you can see. So at the beginning of the day, they'll all just be yellow, and by the end of the day, they'll all move to checkout.
Does this say, do you have to log into this every day?
You should not know.
Okay.
However, someone might log you out, which is why it's important.
Someone.
Who know? See, it's right there. We've hidden it. It used to be way more open, but you can see where we're at. Sometimes it's fun just to click through and see what's going on.
Yeah. Gina.
Whoa. Yeah.
Well, this pretty.
Yep.
Yeah, she's 3 ounce.
Yes. But she was within. But she
Say
did
the standard is 1 ounce for roof?
1 ounce of color, 1 ounce of developer. Do I know well salons that use more? Sure. But we just like to see where everybody falls. She was within her allowance for the custom full foil, so no extra product charge.
So do a lot of salons.
No extra product charge. And there's 2 bowls. Technically, yeah, and this is, he just did a splash there, but there you go. And within his allowance. So do a lot of salons, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
So a lot of them charge that color charge.
Yeah.
A lot of salons you see, they work by the hour, or like time, by the time, or by the service.
I have both. Yeah. Yeah. I do have a lot of time-based salons that have moved to time and materials pricing, which is parts and labor. I just think time and materials sounds more salon friendly. But a lot of my time-based have people, they've moved to like time-based or session-based pricing, and then they're saying, yeah, charge whatever, here's your time, well, however long it takes you, everybody's got their hourly price. You're gonna know their price per minute, price per hour, and then you're gonna charge separately for all of the product dispensed.
Did more of this than this one. We didn't even have this one,
Oh,
so
man, you
it's
should have
just
come and
like-
get me, it's all fixable.
I know,
Yes,
but it-
Okay.
we go.
okay.
Go ahead.
Because I'm gonna have to have you tone her.
See, that's what happened. We don't. I wanted to use this one.
Yep,
She have another one over here, but I want to use this one, and when I went with it, and we don't have it.
ah,
So I
okay,
used the previous one. So,
that's fine.
So,
It's all good, it's all good, we'll get it.
I know we'll get it.
If you wanna see all of them, you can hit that done.
What's it, do I have it written down, or do I
You're
just
not filming
make
it.
it up every time? Go back here, because they changed the way this looks now too, so you gotta click.
Oh
on
yeah,
here.
Mike Boulevard just updated.
Yeah, gloss, I'll have it in there. So I do 873.
All right, this one?
Yep.
Touch it. Do you do anything else? Add it. Easiest way, just hit color touch, there you go.
Okay.
Just narrow the field of what you're looking at.
Doesn't say how much.
No.
At
we'll
least,
just-
yeah, at least
We just need to do.
2 times the developer and then squeeze what you want. So try that again. There you go.
And then we'll just let that sit there for you to.
I'm thinking you're gonna need another one of those. Trade you.
Oh, I should use this one. It's old too.
What developer will call?
Yes. I'm gonna do 0.75 for you, even though it's just through the top. Hard part for me remembering to switch all that stuff.
I always think of what's in my hand, make sure I touch it. That's kind of what I say to myself. What's in my hand? Did I touch it? Nice.
This is really cool.
Oh, I did tell him about it years ago.
You're like, this was my idea.
But it didn't really work that well.
No, it was very
Sorry.
clunky, as you know. All right, do you need anything else?
No.
Okay, because obviously you can go back if you do, but
Oh.
you're done. So,
Okay.
there you go. Yeah, but if like you wanted to mix a second bowl for her money pieces, that's what back to appointment means.
Okay.
A bowl. All right, I'm going to, oops, not
Not
color.
yet?
I would leave it off, I mean,
Okay.
so let's narrow it down. First one. Okay, that way, if you want. Yeah, you can do that too.
Put the stroke.
So which one, so if you're doing 981, it's gonna be 9/81. So you're gonna do, there's no, like, the only ones that have 0 in front of them are these like special mixes.
Yeah,
So you're
I'm
just
just
gonna,
looking for the stroke to find all the zeros.
Oh, you can also just zeros right here.
No, that didn't work.
There you go.
That didn't work.
What are we looking for?
8-stroke 0, there we go.
Oh, yeah, okay.
How do I go back?
Oh, that's okay. We'll go back in a second. What developer are you going to use?
20.
Yep, so just grab our 20, because we can grab all of those colors at once. I don't think you want that 1097. And then you're just, now we can go back. And then let's narrow it down. And what's your, touch your level. Okay. Nice. What else do we want? Okay, numerical order. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, cool. So those three we could have all get in the same time. Yeah. But if you happen to press, all
And
right.
then I need to let it know that it's
1-to-1. You've burned off too many of your fingerprints with all this lightener all the years. Okay, you ready to mix? Do you want to set anything here? Or you just want to squeeze it?
yeah, that's not, but none of those are right, so I'll just
Okay.
squeeze it.
All right, mix. Perfect. I don't know whose this is. 5-5. All right, so it's asking for your 8-2, but you can start anywhere you want. Like if you wanted to start, what was in your hand? Oh. Because you can go over here and touch it. It's fine.
Can I mix?
Of course. Did we set up a pin for you?
No.
Tell me your name.
Lori, Green,
L-A-U or L-O-R?
L-O-R. Oh, fuck.
What's wrong, honey?
I gotta switch the product.
Oh, no, it's okay. We can do it. All right, no, leave it.
I got it.
Oh, I'm like, if we can move product over too, if you need to. It's not a big deal. Is this you, Lori Green? This is old Lori Green, so hold on one second. I just want to remove that. It's non-integrated. Pin would you like? Do you want that same one, 8029?
Yeah, do 2 more.
All right. And do we want to put Vish on your phone too?
No.
Oh, no. I mean, you don't have to. You certainly don't.
Like,
But I was
no.
meant Lori. If you want to put it on your phone, you can.
Not right now.
Okay. All right, who are we doing? Is this Deborah?
Deborah, yes.
Okay. Good job. Keep going. Narrow it down. Do you want
I
mine?
think I'm all right. I think I'm okay.
Okay.
Thank
And then
you.
pop this out.
Like this?
Yep. Because that's going to, I think that just makes it way easier. There you go. Now it's going to start with 8-1 and go down. Anything else? Any other colors?
Yes.
Toggle to that number or toggle, yep. There you go. Yes. That was awesome. All right. It's going to take long today. Which one do you want? Regular, no extra money?
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. You like regular, no extra.
I'm like,
but
what
thank you for
is-
understanding that.
I don't take, yeah, I'm like. I don't-
Extra money is. Okay, which one do you want?
So probably a.
Okay. And then you like it 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2?
1 and 1.5.
Okay. And then remember to say to yourself, what's in my hand? Have I touched it?
So I'm gonna do 1.30 ounces of this.
Okay. Oh, 1.3? Yep. There you go. And then you've got, those are just quick buttons or you got your custom? Oh, here. The only thing is if it's less than 1, do 0 point. So you're going to do 0 point. There you go. Perfect. Nice. And actually, no, this is, so you've got your
gonna tell me,
1 to
yeah.
1.
Yeah,
So we just do 1 to 1.
okay.
Perfect. Start with. But just when you're ready to move, to think of like, what is the next color in my hand? Have I touched it? And then you just get to watch right here.
You're back tomorrow, right?
I am not, my love. For the whole week, I'm just gonna move here.
We need a whole week. Where do we keep the gloves now?
I think they're still in here. You just have to call Robert, tell him to, renew my room at the Bayfront Inn. Beautiful, perfect. Nicely done. That's well done. That's a very good feeling. Okay, so what's in my hand? Have I touched it? Good job. Okay.
Okay, I wanna go back, so
Okay.
edit everything, right?
Okay. Yes.
Alright.
Okay. So you have 1 ounce, half ounce, and half ounce.
Yeah, it's weird. See, because I mixed, but I was mixing 660 first.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the one is 1 ounce. So.
Oh, okay.
this is,
So just touch. You don't want 1 ounce of the 6602.
Right.
Okay,
Just
so touch
one.
it.
Right.
All right. How many? You want half ounce
No.
of that,
Yeah.
and then 1 ounce. There you go.
Okay, gotcha.
And then does it mix 1 to 2? I think it mixes 1 to 1.
And I have this one too. So,
Yeah.
but this is, yeah.
You want
No.
Do you want a half ounce of the
Yeah.
550? Yes, but you just had it at a 1 to 2.
Right.
It's 1 to 1.
1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. Okay. So
That's all good.
that's all good.
Yep.
So you'll have it for next time.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Just save it in there.
Yeah.
And then that's it?
That's it. Are you going to mix anything else for her right now?
No.
One for the developer or not? Oh, slide it, okay.
You
I
can
wasn't
slide
sure.
it, or you can.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
You can swipe that way, or yeah. Keep going. 2.3. Good. Green is good. Awesome. Tell Vish you're done. Do you need to mix anything else right now?
No.
Then you can log out. If you had another bowl, you can go back to your appointment and it'll take you back to grab that other service and get another bowl mixed.